The house video is finally here. We're going from bare land to stick-built finished home in 9 months. We made some adjustments along the way from the original plan, but we kept it basic. So grab your construction hat full of popcorn, sit back and enjoy, like and subscribe. Alright, we've got the first garage door header in. LVL beam, we put 2 of them together. And then we'll be doing the same thing over here. We just have to build this little corner of the wall, build that up. We'll put a brace on it like over here, and then we'll be able to put the beam in between the two, get that framed up. Now this is going to be a house before it's a garage, so then I will be framing studs straight up and down here just like over on that side, but there is going to be a door opening right there. So we'll be back later when we get the next part on. And then I've got 2 windows that are going to go in this section that isn't framed yet. And there'll be 1 more door back where that wall starts. Alright, now we just got to put some nails in it. Alright, last wall, windows are in. Just got the last header top to finish, and then we were all tied in. That'd be the kitchen. That's the living room window and a bedroom window. And then I still got to frame in those walls and the door opening there and 1 door opening over there. Another good day. Got all the openings framed in under the garage doors. Got the double plate on the top all the way around. So this is the main part of the house. I still got to put blocking in where the sheathing's going to go in the 2 spots. I got that doorway is done and all the top plates are on, so now the walls are much straighter when you go up along the side. That's what the double top plate, that second board, makes things a lot more rigid and straight. Alright, I'll be back when I get the framing with the blocking, and then we can start putting sheathing up. And the next step after the sheathing is we have to start putting metal brackets in to make sure that the top part is tied down to the studs, which are tied in to the other part. But at the doorways they want more strapping, even if you've got the stuff going down here, specifically garage door openings. They like to have a metal strap that goes diagonally across the 4 boards there, and the same thing on the other side. And then they want to have a strap going up to the top plate and then down to the studs, so they're tied together in case a hurricane comes. So we got the bottom layer all the way around on this side. Then we come up 4 more feet and we put another set of blocking. If you can see there, I got a little chalk line that I snapped coming along here, so I know where that edge is. That way I've got room to put nails right here. On this sheathing it's every 3 inches in this direction. And then of course you have a double on the top plate here and here. So there's a lot of nails that go into this. And then having this blocking at this level and down there, it's going to make your whole wall a lot more rigid. As you can see on the other side, I've got the blocking everywhere over there at the 2 spots. Run the sheathing horizontally instead of vertically, it makes it a lot stronger. It goes from like a 110 mile per hour wind to 150 or 60 mile per hour wind strength. So we chose to go with it horizontally to give us a lot more strength. It takes more nails because you have to put all the blocking in. If we were going vertically, we'd only have to have 1 set of blocking because it's 10-foot wall, so you got a 4x8, and then you'd have 1 blocking, but we've got 2. Truss is going up today. Got the first one set. The next one should be a little easier. We only have 27 to set total, but we'll get them at some point. We'll check in halfway through. That's Jonathan putting in a nail. I edited that out, but hey, we're up here. Alright, we got 13 trusses up today.
On a crazy hot day.
Yeah, it was just like 90 degrees. Probably feels like 100 or something like that. There's the man lift that we used, so we can take the trusses up one at a time. So we've got these 14 left. We'll put those up. God willing, I get lucky tomorrow. And then it's on to putting the roof sheathing on. Eventually we'll have the sheathing go up the side, but we got to get walls framed up in the big opening in the back, or in the middle, whatever you want to call it, but front and back get framed in. So it's coming along. This is about the height that you'll be looking out the window. Got half the room in. The window will be on this side, right in here somewhere. Stairs will come up over there. That truss will get cut up, but we'll put a header in there so that the ceiling will come up. Anyways, and there'll be a bathroom over here, but we don't have that part of the wall built yet. That will be coming up with that pipe. So the next set of trusses will basically be by the bathroom. It's pretty cool up here. Anyways. Day and a half. Got all the roof trusses set. We need to straighten them out a little bit yet, but we should be able to finish bracing and start putting some sheathing on. All the trusses are on. We had a little delay because they weren't straight up and down. They were tilted that way, about 2 inches at the top. So we had to take off like that section of support, and then we took off the just at the actual joint on that side, so those were all still together. And then we put a block in. We put some bracing up at the top going across once we made those straight, and then we just put one block in, pushed all that over. Alright, so I've gotten this much roof sheathing on. Now the machine will not go forward or backwards. It goes up and down and side to side. And I can turn the wheels, but it won't drive forward and backwards. So I get to call the rental company. So these are all things you got to think about. Stuff does go wrong and will go wrong. And I'm going to be calling them tomorrow also to see if they can get this fixed. And we're just going to have to rent it for a month instead of the week, because with the rain delays that we had, and then I got heat exhaustion one day, it's just pushing things back. But we're making progress. Alright, this is our stair opening in the trusses. So I had to put 2x6s going in between all those, all the way up. and down the other side. And now got my header for the stairs, so on that side the stairs will be coming up from that corner. Alright, we got one wall on the upside done. Upstairs, upside. Gonna do the other side right now. Hopefully we can bust this out pretty quickly, even though it's supposed to rain a bunch today. But I do have my makeshift tarp over the top of the cutting station. But I gotta get back at it, and then hopefully I can get the sheathing on today, and then maybe I can get soffits done tomorrow before they come and get the man lift that I've got rented. It's been super helpful. It's able to lift all these trusses up, put them in place, get all the sheathing on the roof. We'll see how it goes. Good luck to me. The roof is finished. All we got left on the outside, finish the wrap. And when I say all, I mean there's still a lot to do. You got to put all the soffit on, put the doors in, and side everything. Got the windows in, the front door. That's the bedroom window, that'll be the living room. Walls are going up downstairs. That's utility room. That's the shower area and the bathroom with the toilet there. So this is going to be the laundry room and a little pantry. And over there we got storage under the stairs. There'll be an electrical box back there. And we got our stairs, our winder stairs going up. And you can see our little half wall, knee wall. People call it lots of different things. And we're going up here. Here's the upstairs bathroom. There'll be a utility or a sink right here. Toilet there. And a shower in here. Then we go into our upper bedroom for the kids. And then they have their own little walk-in closet right here. Living room. Might be adding a window in there, but I'm not gonna promise anything. This is gonna be the pantry, laundry, master bedroom. Closet's gonna be going in here. Got a bathroom here and a utility room. Getting our HVAC installed. It's almost done. Got all the plumbing run. We've got a couple little things left. We got our gas line run for the cooktop. It's just got to run one more side over on this side. Got the tee up there. He's gonna kick it out that way, and then it'll come down and utility room and go out that hole right there. Then it'll go to the outside tankless water heater. So things are getting very exciting. The electricians are supposed to start Thursday. Today is Tuesday. Gotta run upstairs quick. So there's real access to this nightmare. I got all the ducting over here. This dude doing this is not very tall, but if he was, he would have never got it done. I'm super impressed with this. So pretty much this whole side is all ducting, returns and supplies. And this side is almost nothing. So we got a couple of heat runs, heat cool runs. Anyways, we are got all of our vent fans in. That little wire is going to be for our controller for the thermostat. Super cool. What a difference a day makes. Our house is no longer echoey. It's all insulated. Now I just gotta replace the 3 doors. Wait for the 5 windows to show up. 6 windows actually. And then we can hopefully get sheetrock going. Might get sheetrock going before the windows are installed. Just to have them run the sheetrock up to the openings, cut them out. And then when I get the windows, I can just pop those in place. Without the drywall in, it's super quiet. Nothing bounces off the walls at all right now. So once again, that's our little access to the knee wall on that side. Access on that side. We're getting there in the drywall. Hopefully only one more day for them to get it all in here. But it's starting to look like something. We are over halfway done with priming the walls and the ceiling. I'm actually going to start putting some paint, finish paint on the ceiling tonight. Still got a bit of primer to go in a couple rooms on the ceiling and a bunch of walls. The bedroom. Alright, this morning we painted this wall up along the edge there, all the way around there, just so that we could start setting cabinets. So now we're getting cabinets set. Started over in this corner, cornerstone. So we got the corner cabinet set. That's going to be our cooktop, so I'm going to have to modify that. That's kind of going to get cut out, and then there'll be some kind of a shelf will be put in there, and then the cooktop will slide straight in because it's got handles on the front side. And there'll be a little counter there. Got a little window that'll be in there. Double oven, counter space, refrigerator. And then over here we'll have our sink. So that's that cabinet over around the corner. So that one will go in there. That one also is going to be a farm sink. So we're going to have to butcher that front end of the cabinet as well. And then these 3 cabinets will end up going over here with the dishwasher in this spot. So the windows still need to be trimmed to put on. All the primer is officially done, thanks to my wife and some of my kids. Okay, some of the HVAC system. We got all the vents put on. Tomorrow we're supposed to hopefully pass a permit inspection for getting our temporary power. Alright, today we're going to be cutting this out for the farm sink. Plumber just told me I can cut this pipe down about 12 inches from the bottom of the cabinet. And The other project will be cutting this out for the cooktop. And once those two things are done, I will be done with the kitchen cabinetry. Those are just temporarily there. I might put those up on wheels, or at least on a base so they're up a little higher, but I haven't talked to my wife about that yet. We'll get that figured out. Anyways, we'll be back later on. Alright, I've completed my transition of my cabinet to make it ready for the cooktop. I did this by adding supports. I put a 1x6 deck board, so thick cut, so 1 inch thick deck board on the top on both sides. Put 2x6s for framing in the corners. Then I screwed them down, and on the Thor, you have to have a place to hook up your gas and your electric. So here's my unit. It's a 6-burner. So you got the regulator there, and there's your gas inlet. I'm using LP. So mine actually says on the other side there's a sticker that shows you that it's been converted to LP. There we go. That side will get covered up by the countertops as well as the other side. There are leveler feet at the bottom that you can adjust it up a little bit. Now I did on my cabinet, this is the front edge, because the feet are back in a little bit. I actually dropped the inside just a little bit because I didn't want to have my cooktop up so high that it might be hard for, it's a matter of an inch, or half an inch. So I dropped it in a half an inch, so that'll give me the ability to adjust this to basically perfectly level with the countertops. Anyways, that's my rendition of a installation of a Thor 6-burner front handled cooktop. We are putting up the soffit today. Well, getting it finished today. So you can see over here, it's not on yet. Once we get halfway down this side, it's already on. I had to get that put on for the HVAC guy so you could put the vents in for the exhaust. So those are on. There's like 2 pieces that'll go on here to finish this. And this takes 2 pieces and about a foot, give or take an inch or 2. Anyways, so once those are all on, then I can put my fascia boards on, which are actually vinyl. November 9th, we finished the soffit and fascias. There's a little bit of caulking at the joints I need to do yet, but that'll get taken care of when I do the siding. And get up to the top of the siding, then I can caulk that joint and the edge at the same time. So, reached a new phase. We're basically sealed up from bugs at this point. So the bugs can't get in. Flooring started. This bedroom is all installed. And that's our barn door. And we're starting to get deliveries for finishing, lots of finishing products, so it's good to get this room done so we can make this kind of our storage area again. And now we've got to finish this room. They'll be here shortly to measure our countertops. This thing, those are butcher block for the center island area. And those are actually the oak stair treads. We'll get to staining those here soon. Anyways, we get our range hood in that corner. And a little over halfway, actually a lot over halfway at this point. Just a little bit in the bathroom, laundry, and pantry. And then over here, thanks to the cabinets, there's a lot less. So, getting to the home stretch on the lower level. And we now have all of the living room done. Most of the kitchen, we just have not quite 2 feet over here. A little fridge spot over here, and then we got the pantry, the laundry, and the bathroom, but technically I can't do that all because wherever the vanity's gonna end up being, I won't be putting flooring there. So, getting closer, almost done with this level, and we can jump upstairs, which is much smaller, and that will go a lot faster. Yep. There we go. Alright, today is the day we are finally getting power run to the house from the electrical company. That's why the siding is up to just that point, because I got it so they could run the power and I don't have to put siding behind there. Made it a lot easier doing that. Went super fast. Tomorrow I'll be getting help. Thanks to Danny Evans, contractor buddy. Anyways, it's an exciting day for me because I'm going to finally have power upstairs and downstairs. And hopefully in the next less than a week, the guy will come and hook up my HVAC. All he's got to do is put like a circuit breaker thing in, and then we'll have it. Got our soffit lighting. Well, really all of our lighting outside. And inside, the electrical's done. Still got part of this side to do. Anyways, and we gotta do the front, which kind of been eager to show this one when I get a chance. Downstairs some cool lights. Anyways, we're all lit up here. Alright, so that's my solution to not having the drywall go all the way down where there's concrete, because we had this set up for a garage and now we got it as a house, so there's concrete there and the drywall. If you try and put trim on that, it'll all be angled really bad and won't look good. So I just drill into the concrete, put some concrete screws in. And now I'm working on my risers. Got my skirt boards put in today. So I'm getting my risers going up. So we just cut them, put them in. I actually have to do that with the board fairly straight. Otherwise it doesn't want to fit in there. Because I use this funky cool tool to cut that perfectly. So that's why when you're going down here, if you look at those edges, they are pretty darn tight all the way across. So then when my stair treads, which are those over there, stained them very dark gray. They'll get cut in the same fashion using that tool. So there shouldn't be much for gaps on the sides or at the back. So just got to get it all the way up the top, and then right here we're going to end up having the stair nose on. Because this will be my LVP flooring on these angled steps to get me around the corner, and then we'll go back to the oak stairs. So all the straight stairs will be oak. So this is the before, and all those 2x6s will come out when the stair treads are cut. But that's what I put down to walk on during construction. Might not be what the builders do, but worked for me. Just got our closet inserts done. All the trimming's basically done. Inspector should be here any minute. We're mostly cleaned up and ready to go for the inspection. I've got everything installed on the stairs. You got to put clear coat on these steps still. And we have a lot of painting to do, but all of the little stuff is done. This room is all trimmed out. And the last room, get all set up with closets all done. So hopefully after today we can take all these stickers off the windows, because the inspection will be done. And the painting that we're going to do is not going to be going all over the windows. So hopefully, God willing, if they give us the okay to move in, we can peel up all this stuff off the floors, at least upstairs. I'll probably leave this stuff in the middle downstairs until after next Tuesday when we get our granite countertops, which they said was going to be like 3 weeks later. And now they're saying it's going to come pretty quick. So we'll clean up. Once again, in case you didn't know, the center island moves. It's on wheels. So that's a code deal that they have to be able to move a center island. If it doesn't have any electricity run to it, it has to be movable in order for it to not be considered a center island, a fixed center island. So there we go. Got the TV mounted. It is partially hooked up. We still got to log in our passwords and stuff. But yeah, God willing, this is the last major construction day. We got the fireplace showed up today. So in theory, I could build that sooner than later. We're going to end up doing an accent wall over here, but we just want to get moved in as soon as we can. We'll be back later when we're actually moved in. Got the gazebo off of the deck. We took 2 sections off of the deck so we can get it pulled apart. Some of it's over there. But then we'll move to the other side of the fire pit and all the stuff we have to burn. So now I have to take pretty much all the deck boards off, and then I put bug screen underneath, so I gotta pull that off. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, looks like a really big deck when you don't have the gazebo in the middle of it. Alright, we disassembled most of the deck. We've just got one section left to move over. I'm using my appliance moving dollies, and then we're pulling it along the ground all the way to the other side of the house. Once I get that last piece somewhere over here, then I'll go ahead and get all these blocks set in line. I'll be using the outside rim board from the deck to line up where these blocks are going to go and level them. I don't need these to be perfectly level. I got those 4x4 blocks to make that level. I've got some other posts on the other side. So all the decking is over in that spot. So once I get these set and locked back into place, I'll put my bug screen down again and then put my decking back on top, and it will be all moved. And then we'll just have one straight line of 12 foot by 24 feet of deck. And then I'll leave a opening over on this edge so I can put some landscaping rock, and it just keeps me away from being right up against the house and then having a bunch of junk get stuck in between the house and the deck. And it also leaves a little room for the water spigot, so I don't have to have that water going on my deck or hose going on my deck. You can run underneath or around. Anyways, well, I got the frame all moved into place. Got all the footing, call them deck blocks, have been installed. Got the screen put on again. Had to put some new stuff on for some of it because it just wasn't lining up the same as the old one, which is weird because it's smaller. But anyways, I just have to figure out the jigsaw puzzle of all the deck boards. I got the first 2 rows on, third one's lined up, and then I just have to put them in their place, and then I'll be done with the deck. All right, we got rid of one pile. We did that all with our own little muscles. We used the wheelbarrow. We used the 4-wheeler over there. We filled some patches up on our septic mound. I'm leaving this for right now because I actually want to have a low spot right in here, which you might not be able to see it as well, but anyways, that's our low spot. And then we'll probably leave a chunk of that pile, so after we get a rain or two, we'll be able to see where it's still pooling, if it still is, and then we'll fill in some more. And if not, we might put a super light coat over these couple little edges. Then we'll get some sod. Hopefully it rains before we get the sod. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's my goal, is to wait until it rains. Then we'll order some sod. We'll put sod in here, fill in this spot around here, just past the deck over there. And then this is going to end up being rocks to the dog kennel. So we'll have a rock path on this side. Probably going to do rocks alongside the house and then on this side, and then we'll put a path in the middle, just so we don't have to try and mow back here. That'll make life a little easier. There we go. Coming full circle now. I just saw one little spot I gotta fill in, but other than that, it's getting to be like home finally. On the outside, the inside's been like home for a while. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's another pallet of sod. So we're gonna put this down and see how far it gets us. Probably get somewhere along this edge, hopefully outside the dirt pile, and then a little ways out here, and then the rest we'll seed. Well, we got sod. This is what 5 pallets of sod looks like at my house. Gets me around the deck. And around the front. Alright, we put 4 more pallets down of sod. The reason I did a little curvy there is there's a wet spot here usually when it rains, so I didn't see the point in trying to fill that with sod. We're gonna probably put some seed over there, something eventually. So we have sod over here, planted grass seed over there where there's more dirt looking. That grass is from last year. Anyways, so today we got the rock put in over here. This stuff is drying. That's why they're two different colors, because this stuff is wetter. And we went with the white river rock alongside the house and the shed. And then we got mulch over there, so we just got rid of all the mud around our house. And then eventually I'll probably get some driveway gravel to put in front of the shed here. And then I'll probably fill it in a little bit over here, because that's still a little muddy. And a little bit there. And then I'll fill in some over there where all that stone is. That was concrete that got broken up from in front of the house. And then we'll put some over here too. And probably a little bit by where the car is, because that is where they dug up the electrical through the driveway and over. And if you've been watching the videos, you might notice something's missing. The camper is gone. Sold it. So no more camper living, but we still have camper hookups. If we've got people that come into town and they want to camp at our house, they can. So next thing we've got to do is keep grabbing, because this was all rocks from the beach that we collected and shells. And then we're going to add some shells to these as time goes on, but we don't have to rush with that, because everything's going to be holding in place nice. We just have to finish this side. There we go. The front is finished. Got our awning up today. Privacy fence around some utilities. Got some landscaping. This eventually will probably be a dog wash. Just gotta get a hose over there. So, working on filling that flower bed with seashells and rocks from the ocean. Got the lattice on the deck. Grapevines growing up the trellis. Gazebo on the deck. Grass is filling in a lot better over that way. This spot will reseed next year. It'll come in nice and thick. That stuff out there is all seeded. This is the sod edge right here. And then the sod edge actually cuts that way and then goes right over to that flower bed. But the seeds we put down this year are doing pretty good. Anyways, so we have our stones with the different shell looking things and sharks and whatnot. So we got the shed, has the lattice on it as well. I put a new door frame on that shed already, because it was wood and it rotted in like a year and a half. Anyways, that's where I'm parking. We'll put a shelter over this at some point, but don't really need an actual garage, just a cover at some point. So here we are, all finished up. Thanks for watching the video. We ask that you like and subscribe, and you can check out my new Patreon in the description, so you can find home improvement advice, videos, tips, and more.